Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into The Week in Africa. Here's a look at what's coming up in today's show. In Mali, the Tuaregs who once fought for Muammar Gaddafi are back home with a new quest, a government of their own. But their clashes with state troops have forced 30,000 from their homes. Religious violence in Nigeria has both Christians and Muslims on edge. Our reporters meet refugees lost in the shuffle with no help in sight. And the African Cup of Nations heads into the final with Zambia facing Ivory Coast. But regardless who wins, football has once again proved to be the great healer, bringing Ivory Coast back together just months after the war. But first, during the war in Libya, a few hundred Malians went to fight there as mercenaries. But now they're back home. They're known as Khadafi's Tuaregs, and they're now fighting for a government of their own. The Tuareg rebels are taking on government troops in Mali with devastating consequences. 30,000 people have been forced to flee their homes so far.
There were hundreds, perhaps even 1,000. For months, they fought alongside Gaddafi troops in Libya. They are ethnic Tuareg rebels. They returned to their homeland in northern Mali, replete with weapons and vehicles. After fighting against the revolution in Libya, they are fighting for self-governance. Violent clashes have created a tense situation in the north, where more than 6,000 people fled into neighbouring Niger.
Everyone has left because we all fear the army. They said they were going to bring planes to kill everyone. We left because we're afraid of the army. That's why we're looking for a place to hide.
The rebels struck first and quickly gained control of several towns in the north. The Malian army was outgunned. Back in the capital, Bamako, people took to the streets and mobs went looking for someone to blame.
There were groups who went out with the intent to damage some people's houses, homes that are not linked in any way to the rebel fighting in the north. At the moment in Bamako, anyone who looks like Tuareg has left because they risk being attacked.
A line of thinking the president was quick to denounce.
Those who attacked some military barracks and towns in the north must not be confused with our fellow Tuaregs, Arabs, and any of our other compatriots.
Confrontations between Tuareg rebels and the Malian army date back to the 1960s. The rebels want total control of Azawad, miles of desert wedged between Algeria, Mauritania, Mali, and Niger.
The goal is to retrieve our territory, a territory which was confiscated by the state of Mali after the state created all the insecurity in the region.
Instability is further fueled by the presence of Islamic Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. The fighting in northern Mali comes at the twilight of President Touareg's time in office. Due to term limits, he'll be leaving power in April when there are new elections, unless insecurity jeopardizes the polls.